Hello, traders. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of some of my morning activities, and then tell you about my four trades today. Okay, and I had two winners and two losers. I'm up nice for today. My first two trades were the smallest, and they were both my losers. And so I just wanted to give you an idea why I took why I took all my trades, and a rundown of some of the stuff I do in the morning. A couple of things that I do. First of all, I go to Market Watch and see what the most talked about stocks are. They got a little streamer on Market Watch, and I see what's going on with the most talked about stocks for the overnight session on Market Watch. And the second thing I look at, I go to Benzinga under ratings and the update during the course of the morning and see what the current ratings are for the morning rating changes, and then I look and see which ones are the best, and I add it to my watch list. And so far, the things that really popped up this morning between the earnings and what was being talked about and everything, I had Snap, uh, Canopy Growth, Adobe, Costco, Baidu, Target, and Blue. They all showed up today on my scans. So morning scans as things that popped out to me that would be interesting to trade today. And then also, I did trade Facebook today, so I need to add that to the list. But that was not in my initial scans this morning. So, but my first trade this morning that was Target, and basically we had really crappy retail sales numbers came out, and I knew Target was right up here at the market maker move high for the week. So, and it was an overbought situation, and there was plenty of liquidity in the options. I had actually looked at Best Buy first, but Best Buy did not have that much open interest in the options. So I always look for the open interest before I enter a trade. I don't want to get trapped by a liquidity issue. And the things I was looking at for this, you had this overbought situation for Target starting today out the day out, and I was thinking Target was going to come crashing down to the trend line and probably close near the trend line today. That was my initial thoughts, and completely uh, eclipse yesterday's range. And what supported that thesis was I saw this wide range. Once you broke out a value, the wide range. Typically, you don't always get that. You see the tightening ranges here. It was a scenario to where, you know, if the markets turned a little south, that this thing could really start falling quick. And we see as we speak that it's starting to come crashing down here on Target. And I do think what we're going to see here is Target. Target's going to be coming into this trend line, uh, possibly today, all the way back down to the 125.07 area. So, if you come down here, that's down here quite a ways here. But there's a pretty good odds that we are definitely going to be coming down to the 126 area before the day's out for Target. So anybody who does have the puts in this, they should hold it to later into the day, in my opinion. And I did get this around 50 cents a share, and then it went against me. And then they delayed the whole China talk and everything, and I saw it was going against me, so I took a hit on this one. But like I said, it was the first trade I took this morning, and so I just wanted to point that out. And another thing, for faster execution, I have the options already set up pre-market, the trades that I want to put on. So all I have to do is hit one button, boom, and it buys it on the. I don't buy in between bid and ask. I buy on the bid, or I buy on the ask. There you go. I buy on the ask price, and that way I have quick and efficient executions right out of the gate on my options. My next trade for the day was Apple puts, and it looks like they would have been a winner right here too. They've bled off the options are bleeding off time decay today. Um, so uh, as far as Friday goes, let me zoom into there. Yeah, I bought in right out of the gate around 50 cents or 52 cents, something like that. It immediately popped up to 73. Now, if I'd have got out right then and there, I'd have been great. But since then, it's just been bleeding lower. So I took a hit on this one too, on the Apple puts. And my thesis was that we were in an extremely accelerated trend on Apple, and we were above the market maker move for this week. Well, let's see here. I thought the markets were going to be weaker. I generally like to buy above the market maker move, like I do with Target. In this case, I didn't with Apple. I thought it was going to come right back into value today, which it seems to be doing as we speak, coming back into value here. So, but I bought up here. It came in, and then it just went right against me faster than I can shake my head. So, but at any rate, that's my second losing trade for today, and I have a feeling we're going to be coming all the way down to the 270.30 area before the day's out. So we probably don't even have the lows in for Apple for today, in my opinion, even though it was a losing trade this morning. Okay, my third trade and the big trade for the day, I sized up on this one. I had this planned out before the market opened. I actually thought Costco was going to catch a little bit of responsive upside. I wanted to buy around the 296 area. That was my target for this morning. It didn't get there, so I had to chase it. But even though I chased it with size, and it came all the way down. My plan was to trade it all the way to the market maker move low on Costco, and it came right down to virtually the tick on the market maker move low, and I cashed out and took my quick profit using the market maker moves study tool. And I was really so bullish on or bearish on Costco. If you go out here on the weekly chart, oh my lord! And I showed this to some other people in the room. I mean, this thing is. I know the markets are really bullish right now, but you see a chart like that. I mean, you broke the primary uptrend, and I really thought we were going to, at the very least, break the 20 SMA weekly, which we did, and we came down to the once we broke down below, we came right to the market maker move low and bounced, and that was my plan, and it worked out perfectly for Costco. Okay, my next trade, which is still running, that's Facebook puts. I have, or Facebook calls, I'm sorry. Wait, no, Facebook puts, I'm sorry. There you go. Losing my mind there. I got the 195 puts. This was called out in the T3 trading room. And I do think we do not have the low end for the day. I have a trend line down here and a moving average. I think one or the other is definitely going to get tagged before the day is out. So I do see more downside than upside for Facebook for the rest of the day. I have a cost basis of 90 cents a contract for the 195 puts. We just got through coming off the okay, it's 1.7 right now. So I'm still roughly a double on the trade. I am going to continue to let it run. And if you go out on my, expand this out here, you can see my trend line. See here, weekly. That trend line that I'm referencing is right here. That is a long-term trend line, which I've gotten drawn here. That's acted as support and resistance in the past. But the primary thing was that moving average, the what is that? The 50-day, yeah, the 50-day moving average, yeah, on the daily. That is the 50-day moving average on the daily. I do think we're going to tag that at the very least before the day's out. So keep that in mind. I could be wrong. It could be Monday before it happens. Like I said, I do have a nice little buffer here. If it goes against me, I figure if I take another half back, then I'm going to cash out of the trade. But I still believe in the trade. We are extended, so just keep that in mind. We are outside the market maker move. So if the market does continue to show relative strength, it's probably going to be difficult on my trade. So yeah, see the ticks are supporting the bearish bias into the close. All of our UVOL, DVOL negative, your advanced declines are negative. This all suggests that we're going to get further downside motion in the markets into the close. So it would not surprise me one bit to see NASDAQ down to 84.42 for the close, if that tells you something. So that's basically double the move that we currently have on the NASDAQ to the downside. So that would be a logical, given these internals, that would be a relatively logical place for these markets to settle to end the week. So just keep that in mind. Definitely, I'm not even thinking about trying to chase longs here. Okay, that's just, it gives you a quick rundown of how I look at the markets. And one last thing you always want to look at, and that's your like I'm looking at the S&P 500 right here, your advanced decline. You always want to keep an eye on this in the morning hours to see how the market breadth is shaping up. And as you can see here, you're getting 2 times the volume to the downside versus the upside. So it's quite a bearish scenario for today, and you do not want to take long positions when the breadth is against you in the markets. Okay, thanks a lot. Like the video if you like it. You can leave comments below, and I hope we're all here to learn something together. Oh, one last thing I wanted to talk about. I know a lot of people in the trading room took SRPT to the long side. Whenever these trades get called out, something that I always check, which might save you a lot of headaches in the future. I always look. I have the open interest and volume on my trading grid, and so I just wanted to point that out. So you can, when the open interest is virtually zero, that means you're trading against everybody who's trading today. And if it's traded, it's called out in a trading group or something like that, you're actually trading against a lot of the people in the same group. And I like to have a huge open interest, so in my opinion, so you don't have a liquidity issue. And I try never to buy anything with no open interest into a expiration day. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You can get yourself in a lot of trouble if you try to trade that way, in my opinion. But yeah, this was by far the biggest winner for the trading room today. Heck, it got all the way up to $9.20, but it was a liquidity issue too, because like I said, there was no open interest till today, so everybody was rushing into this trade.